here's this little island a couple of miles away from America, 90 miles away from America, and they have a president who talks like us. They have a president who understands the need for a liberated Palestine. And I think that was, that definitely altered my worldview as an organizer.
And when you were saying that, I recalled a very powerful moment at the May Day March of me realizing just how much the Cuban people believed in us to make a change, right? I kind of, going into it, felt like if I was a Cuban person, I'd be like, oh, these Americans are here. What do they know? But that was not the reality of it. They saw us as people who believed the same things they did, and they saw us as capable of really affecting change, and that was truly inspiring to me. I found that very powerful.
And this Shay quote came up a couple of times during the trip, but Shay had once said, "You North Americans, I'm very jealous of you because you guys have the most important struggle of all. You're in the belly of the beast." And I think that sentiment was very much felt when we were connecting with the Cuban people and people from other countries. Was they had a sense of, okay, y'all are here, y'all are learning this information, you're learning how we made our revolution, but now it's time for you to go home and make your own revolution.
We went to Cuba and we brought medicine there, but what did we bring back to the USA? And the main thing, although we may have gotten some flags or some posters, the main thing we brought back was a discipline from the lifestyle of the camp. And also, I brought back a real feeling of inspiration, a feeling that we have a world to win, and a feeling that victory is ours and that revolution will come. And I think that that's the real thing that we're bringing back, is a will to affect change and a will to try to support the Cuban people and to support revolution all around the world.
Every facet of Cuban society thinks like an organizer. And these students, who were regular medical students, they came and spoke, and basically what they were saying was, they were wearing their white coats, they looked like medical students. They were like, we're the reason that America's calling Cuba terrorist. And they were saying, well, if we're terrorists, we're proud to be terrorists because we're sending doctors around the world. And if that's our terror, then so be it, right? But here's this little island a couple of miles away from America, 90 miles away from America, and they have a president who talks like us. They have a president who understands the need for a liberated Palestine. And I think that was, that definitely altered my worldview as an organizer.
Welcome to the X-Ray Podcast. I'm your host, Julio. Let me put this up. There we go. Fix it. There we go. Welcome,
And
brother.
I'm Robert. How's it going?
Bro, do you hear the first portion that he said, oh, we took medicines to Cuba? Like, that's the first time that the revolution did not work as intended. So that was the end of the conversation for me right there and in there. And there's no else to discuss. And you heard the plans. The plan is to bring communism globally. And I'm not for it. So with their idea, they can F themselves. I'm not for it. So what are your thoughts?
I wonder what is the connection between homosexuality and communism? Because I don't really see the connection.
No,
I mean, it's in history. They would have been chastised by what they live by. I mean, so I don't know how we got to that point where they are now for communism. But here's the thing, Julio. So I don't understand why how we got to this point. I mean, at first I remember, growing up, they would say, oh, we want to, what happens in our bedroom is our business kind of deal. And,
right.
As conservatives, yeah, we had pushback for them to get married. But then at the end of it, we're like, well, you know what? Yeah, let them get married, right? It's what it is. And somehow now it's changed and morphed into now they're transgender is moving and taking over the whole LGBT community. I mean, I know a lot of gay people that don't really like transgenders. And
They
I know
don't.
there was a segment from Dave Chappelle saying like he had the same thing. Like, they just basically took over, and it's not, it's because if they exist, then gay doesn't exist no more, you know?
Yeah. Let me now that you're talking about it, let me play a video from Rigo, where he plays this uh, gay person, Jeffree Star. Have you heard about him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have
Yep.
you? So he played this clip, which is very interesting to me because he is one of many of the on the gay, lesbian community that actual they are not part of it. Like I would put it in context. This is my understanding of communism or Islam, whatever, and Marxist movement. They are a parasite. You know what I mean? They leech into any movement they can use to further their agenda, whether it is um, social movement, gay community, lesbian, LGBTQ, whatever movement they can manipulate to their agenda, they will lead to it, and they will kind of like use it to their advantage until they gain power. That's my understanding of communism or socialism. So that's the way I see it, like a bunch of parasites. So let's look at this video, and I want to hear your thoughts, Robert, on this.
This new world where these people want to go into the women's bathroom with your guys' children, and we're gonna think that this is okay. That's the root. You can be whoever the fuck you want to be. But this person, imagine all the mothers in the chat right now. You're at Disneyland. Everyone knows what fucking Disneyland is. Imagine you are a mother with children and you're at Disneyland and this thing comes in the women's restroom. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you out of your mind? But I'm a woman. Look, I'm wearing a dress. Huh? All my parents in the chat, do you want this person in the women's restroom? I don't, and I'm a male. And society is trying to make that acceptable. In what world was I born in? Do you feel heavy that silence is? I'm sick to my stomach. That is a grown man with a mustache telling Charlie that he wants to be called a she.
There you have
You
it.
know, and and here's the thing, Julio, man, like who cares if you want to be that, right? If you want to be a woman and you're a
Mhm.
man, whatever, nobody really cares. It's this where it draws the line is when you're trying to tell drag show queens in schools.
Mm.
Draw the line. It draws the line when you're telling me that I have to teach this to my kids, or I have to tell this. If I tell my kids otherwise, then it's an issue, and this and this and that. And two, when teachers are talking about it, like that's should be our parent, like our business as parents. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be up to them. So that's when we have an issue. That's when I have an issue. And but to be honest with you, I was messaging somebody and they were telling me, transgender a is not a mental issue, right? But
Mhm.
I think it is. I mean, it's out of the normality. For years that didn't exist. There was like a small percentage. And don't tell me that they were in secret, because I knew the people that were gay in secret and I could call them out. That I will agree with that. Those people did exist for millennia, but transgender was really never a. It was more like a sexual fetish, Guys, business guys would dress into like, and we would make fun of it. It was like a joke, right? But I understand that is a type of condition, and
Mhm.
I don't know where we went wrong, and now they're forcing it to our kids, and it's now like a social contagion.
It is. It has become like I told you, it's a parasite, and they will like all these ideologies are parasites. They will get to your little by little. It's not a overnight change. They will just eat away your consciousness. They will eat away your morality. It will eat away the social fabric where the traditions. They will eat away anything they can, devour it, so they become a norm, and we accept it. Like you were saying, like back in the day, we accepted if you're gay, lesbian, transgender. We just like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. We go on and about our day. But now that nowadays they are demanding for us to accept their, I would say, their delusion. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like we must have, we have to comply. We have to oblige. We have to uh basically succumb to their belief. And I'm not agree for that. I mean, if you look like a man with a dress, and I will tell you, like you look like like a man with a dress. I mean, you pretend to be a woman, but you will never be a woman. That I mean, that's the facts. So
Yeah, and again, if it's your inner circle or your circle that you hang out with, and you
mhm,
want to say that that's your belief, that's fine, but like you said, you're forcing us to believe it, and it's just so sad, Julio, because that's all their identity is. Like, how are we're much more than our sexual preference. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go around and say I'm a boob licker, right? You know, like, that's my thing. I'm a boob licker. That's, you're gonna refer to me like him and her. It's like, dude, I don't care what you do. That shouldn't define you. I want to know you as the person. What happened to Martin Luther King? Judge me by the content of my character, not
yep.
your sexual fetish or your sexual orientation. What does that mean?
I know it is. It is very. I will say it, and I will say it again. If you have not seen this podcast about the reaction that I do when the Russian agent came up and kind of describe how Marxist movement kind of eat away your liberties and morality and destroy your country, I will put it in the comments down below, and
Okay,
you will
so
see it.
shout out to Andrew. Aaron Ventura says it's a small percentage, 1% of the U.S. population. It's also sad when MAGA is your identity. So here's the thing: I've never said I was MAGA, right? But MAGA is a is an I guess they say an ideology of make America great again. So as being a person that's proud of your country, not proud of my sexual orientation or proud
Right.
of my selfish ways, but proud of the country that most of us went to war for, or some of us, uh, you know, love this, our neighbors, love you guys, so that is a pride that's not selfish. So versus that 1% you're talking about, the transgender movement, which you're correct, it is like 1%, is not that many of them. But
Right.
here's the issue: that 1% is trying to steamroll everyone else, and like do these again, like we're not saying that. And the only reason why we're hitting this topic is because apparently that's the conversation that's going around the world right now, unfortunately, right? That transgender, some people might say that they're the ones attacking this, but it's them. They are doing this. This poster, this video that we played earlier of this Utah, what were they called? Armed queers, SLC. So
Right.
they're making this into something that is proving some of the radical people from the right is is validating it. And I guess our reasoning of bringing this is just that it's an issue that we got to address, and we can't address it if we just ignore it, and that's not what it is. Um, and what is hoy en el día la gente quiere identificarse today? The people want to identify with groups that divide. Also, ni les gusta. They don't like when the movements que incluye a todos vivimos that people identify the groups they claim that it divides us, but they don't like it when that movement is about only America. Thanks, Gabby. That's true. Aaron Ventura says, I am proud of US MAGA. I'm talking about the cult of Trump. I agree with the acronym, but not the cult.
Yeah,
Well,
me
yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah,
Eh,
that's us too. I mean, like, okay, so and here's probably where people gets lost with me because Julio will straight up say like straight up, nah, Trump did this wrong, and me, I sound more like a forever Trump guy, which I like his policies, I like what
yeah.
he does. Uh, is he presidential for doing that? Hey, we got him there. You know,
Mhm.
we got to that point because they pushed this political correct to where now I like how he talks, and it's probably not the right way. I mean, we could have wanted having somebody that spoke better, but yeah, I'm with you with that, Aaron. That I'm for the acronym, but yeah, not always for Trump. If he messes up, I will straight up call him out.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, me too. Yeah, me
but so
too.
far, I got what I voted for.
Right.
So
In fact, we called them out when they, when
the
the
Jeffrey
idea,
Epstein.
yeah, in the for Epstein, and the idea when flows around to bring over 600,000 people from China for
Yup,
colleges,
yep.
and we, man, we were mad. We raised a voice, and that talking point went away quick. I mean, they pulled back. They pulled back on their idea of doing it because we were not buying it. I mean, like why we are kicking people out and you're gonna
and
bring six
then
thousand
and then
customers?
bring Chinese people in. And
Yeah,
and he might say, and
makes
Trump
no
might
sense.
say, well, this is me trying to make a deal with China, but still, no, it's either American first or it isn't. Pero
Absolutely.
no, pero no, y el call a Obama, ese está bien, el que trabajó
El
de
que
pueblo.
trajo, he brought this modernization. Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
true. Yeah, I will
He
say though, Obama did us dirty, dude. He really did.
I mean, he was the one that repealed the in the armed forces. They don't ask, don't tell. He removed that. He basically opened the bathroom for any gender to come in. So if you feel like a woman or you a biological male, you can go to the bathroom. So he did that. He did the cages for the people on
The
for immigrants,
undocumented, yeah.
and he was a deporter in chief.
And,
That's a
and
fact.
then too, remember he did the pallets of money for Iran. He
Oh
also
yeah,
released.
they were sending like what 47 million a month.
Yeah, he also remember he also released prisoners
Oh yeah, he
for.
swapped. Yeah, he swapped.
Mhm. He actually
He swapped for.
speaks to the regular Joe. Yeah, exactly. Trump speaks to the regular Joe. That is correct. I agree with that. Hello,
Yeah,
family from Francisco.
yep,
Um,
Francisco Garcia. I think he hit me up on on TikTok, I believe. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining. So we that's a problem that we have nowadays. Now we have like a lot of people. Like I told them, I think I brought it up when Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and people start making mockery and basically expressing what they feel online, basically enjoying the passing of Charlie Kirk. Now they're getting a pushback. They're getting fired, and now they're crying out loud for their behavior. And there's a lot of discussion on that because people saying, "Oh, it is free speech." Yes, it is free speech, but it just for a debate, for conversations. But when you have a job, right? And let me make this clear: when you have a job and you make these comments online, you are representing that employer. If you see what I
Yeah,
mean, if you work in a company, let's say you work at a business, right? It's a big box store like Walmart, or and you have a position in there, and you kind of express yourself online, and you know whatever, and they get a hold of it, and they have the right to not be associated with you. They could easily say like, hey, that's not aligned with our belief and our politics or our policy, and they can fire you, not because what you say, is because the behavior of your actions, that and they don't want to
and,
align to that. People want to good people in the company. They don't want people with bad feelings or making mockery or somebody demise. And that's
correct.
pretty much why they fire people, not because for what they say, is because what they express, like from their feelings.
And what, yeah,
And
what they're showing, they don't want to be tied to that culture. But
yeah, they don't.
Aaron says, I don't remember seeing hats and merch from Obama. Also, many Democrats criticize Obama. It took a while for them to criticize Obama, though. It did take a while. But
Yeah,
and the reason why you didn't see a lot of merch, because that's what separates Trump from all these politicians. That dude knows how to market it.
yeah, we got
Trump is
merch
our
too. Look at
president,
that.
but
We
he
got
says,
merch. We got merch.
yeah, I
We got.
know. We got merch too, man. We're just trying to live the American dream.
I
Trump
know.
is our president, but
We
says
got
many
merch.
outlandish stuff. Well,
Oh yeah,
okay,
Trump. Yeah, Trump is a loose cannon.
he is a
Period.
loose cannon. Yeah, and
Period.
again, that's where I'm trying to say is that, do you prefer somebody that is blatantly honest? Because you can't deny that we know what Trump wants. We know what Trump is.
Mm.
You don't, what you see is what you get with Trump. Okay. um Versus a politician that speaks good, says things that are
Sounds good.
caution and sounds good, but then does everything behind the scenes, because
Yeah,
that's what
does not
Obama did.
deliver. Yeah, it
Yep.
did not
Free
believe
speech does
deliver.
not equal zero responsibility.
You're right,
uh
Jennifer.
yep.
You
Yeah,
are
you're
right.
right though.
He got
He
criticized
got
for not
criticized
withdrawing
for.
troops, nor he have a main coin. Like Aaron, let me tell you, Donald Trump, he will make money out of everything. Out of if you met a businessman or a woman, they will see the opportunity everywhere. Where you don't see opportunities, they see it, and they will exploit it. Bottom line, I met business people, and they're just like that. When you don't see an opportunity, they see 20, and they will make money out of it.
And Julio, and this is touching on what Aaron's saying right now. Um, Honestly, we're at the point right now where we kind of need a business person like that. America needs that, and it's been needing that for years. The Federal Reserve, once that started, was a bad idea, but
Mhm.
it's kind of, imagine like seeing a household where you see that the father isn't present and the kids are acting all, what is the first thought you come, man? If I was the dad, or man, they need a dad, I'll whoop them boys in shape or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
that saying, that little thought. Well, that was America. We needed a business type person to actually worry about America. And I mean, the man makes money at everything he does. I know everybody's saying, well, look, what is he doing now? Inflation stopped, right? No one's
Yeah.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Inflation stopped.
He
Um,
made it stop. And I mean, he
and
stopped it on the first 2 months.
yeah, I mean, there is there is some increase that's going on right now, but that increase stops. If you know how tariff works and how that affects, it's just going to stop. It's not going to get any more increase unless, the other country is like, they're going back and forth and they're increasing more percentages. But guess what's going on? A lot of companies are losing money. So what do? To
The
avoid the
movie over
tariffs,
here.
they move back in here. So it's kind of like a game. And yes, we're gonna feel these pains. Just kind of like, imagine your finances at home. Like, imagine if I'm making a small check and I spend a lot more, and now that I got my finances in order and I'm about to start saving, it's going to take a while to still get back to feel normal, you know, and
Yeah, it would take time.
unfortunately, yeah, it's gonna take
It would
time.
take time. Now, yeah. So, like, if let's say we are now, let me show you a video. One of our viewers sent me this video, and I saw it earlier, and I feel bad. These young people do not know what they're doing, but let me show you this video. Hold on, let me get myself straight. All right, there we go. Let me open this up. This is bad.
Oh, buddy.
Fuck that nigga.
You're gonna get expelled, dude.
But okay, that
That is bad.
that's disturbing. But you know,
It
he's
is.
a kid, you know. And the thing is, I'm not trying to excuse it, but he is a kid. It's understandable. You know, they do stupid stuff. And the sad reality, Julio, is these kids are so, and this is the issue, right? They're so used to seeing all this online, you know, and this wasn't something that we grew up with. I mean, this was disturbing for us. Kirk was murdered because of free speech, and if the left believes that the assassination is justified, then you establish the premise that you can also get murdered because of your opinion. Facts, Jennifer. Facts. Okay, so let's talk. Let's hit that point, Julio. But that's the thing. Okay, so this is why I align myself with the right, and this is one good example. As a conservative, it's never okay. Any assassination is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the left, the other side of the spectrum, they justified certain assassinations. And I cannot agree with that. Hence why I'm more of a conservative. I mean, and that's prime example, those kids right there, you know. I have not seen inflation stop, and now other countries do not want to do business with us. Have you seen what hairbrush with the Koreans work being detained by ICE? Do you know what that's about, the hairbrush, Julio?
Uh, I think that was Hyundai. They were doing uh they did a raid and they captured, I believe, over 300 people that work they were working at the company here in the United States, but they didn't have the paperwork in order. So you have some of them that overstayed their visa, and some of them had expired visa. So they got shipped back to South Korea, but Donald Trump made a deal, and what they were trying to do, and Trump like made a deal with North with South Korea. They were trying to do, they were importing workers instead of hiring
Oh,
Americans. So that was a big deal. That's what Donald Trump brought the whoever the president and talk about it, because they were supposed to be American people, not Korean
not
national.
Koreans, yeah.
Yeah,
And
so that
and
was that was a big deal.
okay, yeah, then that was news for me.
Yeah.
Obama doesn't
Well,
need this has business deals or door to door contacts because Obama has had the press on his side, true, throughout his 4 year terms. Obama wasn't even a grassroots movement. Obama was just politician who made a mess, but no one attacked. That is true. And a lot of people don't know this, but Obama was basically raised, well, no, I wouldn't say raised, but he was around the bushes as he was as a child, and people don't know this. When he was
we're
going
related.
under the last name Santoro,
Mhm.
Sotoro, right, or something like that.
That's
So
a Toro.
Obama was, yeah, Sotoro, that was his stepfather, and a lot of people don't know this, but yeah, his Obama's stepdad was a CIA and worked for the Bushes. throughout his till he died, and
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that. That's why if you guys pay attention and you go back, when George W. Bush would give a lollipop to Michelle, like a certain way, it
Oh yeah,
was
I
a
remember.
yeah, it was because that's what Bush would do to Obama when he was a little kid. In case people don't know that. Now you know. The problem with people working without documents and working work permits is that employers exploit them. That's human trafficking and exploitation. The left is happy about that. That's true. See, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Because I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they
The
claim they're
left,
for the people, the unions, and all that. But I mean, I think Republicans and Democrats still, I guess, our side also, right? We like cheap labor, and I think this is Donald Trump doing the tariff. Is it perfect? No, but it's doing something to stop that. And
yeah,
the fact that Aaron brought up about the hairbrush, yeah, that's shame on the administration. But I'm pretty sure what he's probably justifying is that they had documentation, they just didn't have it correctly, right? That's probably what the argument was.
yeah. But now we talking about that subject of the left, like we always ended up talking about. The left has like a few characteristics that you can determine, you can see like physically. They're lazy. They like to just complain about everything. They don't like to work. Like, when do you see a leftist going to work? They do scream in colleges or go to protest. That's what they do. They don't like to work.
Well, hey, hold on. I'm gonna stop you there. You got paid agitators, paid protesters. They're making 50K a
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
I
They go
mean,
all over the nation too to protest.
that was brought up in Doge, in case y'all didn't know that. I mean, there was
And
these
it happened to and it
NGOs.
happened to be right. And it happened to
Yeah,
be right.
correct,
It,
exactly.
there
And
was
and and Trump was saying it years, right? And then once Elon got on Doge, remember the
mhm.
riots in California and Los
Yep.
Angeles, then well, we found out who they were, and that's why you're not seeing them no more because the the
They got
the tea
exposed.
was spilled. Yep,
They got exposed. You will see the
got
same
exposed.
person in different protests. Like, if they were like the LGBTQ, you see a person, but you will see a person pro Palestine. You will see the same person over there, and the people were like, "Hold on, why these people showing up at the same place, like different protests for the same people?" And that when people start digging, and you see a lot of influencer start digging around, and they find out people are paid protesters. People are getting paid upwards $80,000 a year just
Yep.
to gather people. That's what they do. They gather people. They gave them signs. They don't know what they're carrying. They pay them like a $50 or $100 for a few hours, and just stand there with the sign. And when they go ask him, like, what do your sign says? They have to look at it because they don't even know.
Yeah, a lot of them don't know.
They
And
don't
and
know.
and
They're just holding a sign for like $100 a day.
and another person that exposed that was Project Veritas.
Yep.
Um, what does it say? It says Aaron, I'm a leftist in the union and I work. Well, I mean, okay, right now we're kind of like exaggerating. I get it. There is obviously some of you
And
guys that
Aaron,
do
you're
work.
everything. You're a MAGA. Now you're a leftist. Make up your
Yeah,
mind.
I think he's a leftist for sure.
I think so.
But
Or Bob or something. Ha!
but 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 no. Here's the thing. Uh, I'm sorry, I just started you. Here's the thing. The majority of the people right now, uh, we used to think that the leftist was the majority, Aaron. We used to think that the leftist was the majority, but it's the sad reality is not true.
Yeah.
It's the majority is people that believe in the acronym MAGA, and we won this election, and it was highlighted, won the popular vote, won the electoral vote, and we knew this. The reason why you guys are more popular is because there's a lot of states out there that don't do voter ID. So when they use the census, They've been documenting people that don't have papers. Like they're not like we all call them undocumented, right? But guess what? That's why Trump is going to LA, right? One of the biggest cities. Because we know, because we have the math, we are more citizens that are like the American citizens, there are more Republican votes than they are Democrats. This is why the Democrats are freaking out because they're deporting all their constituents. Is there proof of paid protesters? There's no way King Days was all paid protesters.
They were,
Yeah, it was exposed. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
just to
I
bring
guess we'll
clarity
send a
to
link.
Aaron. Yeah, bring clarity to Aaron. There were people organizing the protest, right? They gather people, they go online. That's what they do. They get paid to go online, gather people around, and bring them to the protest. So let's say I'm a paid protester, organizer, whatever title they want to give me. I go online, I create these chats, these Facebook groups, whatever. I gather people. I never said it was MAGA. You just said it. Let me put up your
Oh, no,
come
no,
on.
no. He said no. He said no. Remember, he said he goes. He is for the acronym for "Make America Great," but he's not for Trump.
Oh yeah, because I'm about to unleash. I'm about to cook. So
Let's
anyway,
see.
so that's what they do. They gather people and they just go and gather all those people. They don't have to pay them, but they pay the organizers. That's what they do. They
So
pay the
so
organizers and they just go there, giving them the sign. People don't know what they protesting sometimes. They just go there just because got nothing to do. But the
so
organizers do get paid.
so Aaron, we had done an episode where we showed um the organization. I just can't. I'm gonna look for it right now as we're talking. But Julio, remember they bought bricks with
Mhm.
I don't know what funding they got it from, but it was supposed to go for the Palisades. I think remember the fires, but instead they bought bricks, and those pallets of bricks were
They were
placed.
placed in the corners. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I'm about to research to get that real quick out here,
Yeah,
or
they
try
got
to. But
they have pallets of also rocks and hammers. The people can break up the bricks and have more that to throw around and break stuff. So that's when we talk about paid protesters, it's basically paid organizers. That's what they do. They garner people and just take them out there, give them you know signs and give them whatever they need to do to protest. But most of them they don't get paid. Most of them people are just there because they feel entitled to go there and help them out. But the organizers do get paid.
yeah, no, yeah, the organizers do get paid. In fact, there is a job if you chat GPT it, grok it, it shows they do. There's people that are paid protesters. I don't
Yeah.
believe that the left is more popular. I think they're just louder, and especially the liberals. Yes, you're right, Jennifer. And honestly, that's why Trump is deporting the people in LA, because guess what? We're about to hit another census, and if we take a
Mhm.
bunch of those illegals that they're because see they're counting the illegals in the census,
Yeah.
and they're trying to change that law, right? So that way, guess what? Because that dictates how many districts and how many electoral votes and how many seats in houses. So it all will crumble. The Democrats are fearing for that. So that's why they're doing what they're doing. Let me see. LA riots, NGOs. Yep. But it is crazy though, um,
It
Julio,
is.
that
Okay, Brock.
you got to yeah check the Grok, and I'm gonna check X, because X doesn't X it's unfiltered, man. That's why I like X. Um,
Let me see that. 'Cause there is a lot, but let me see.
okay, so here's this, and I'm about to share
Refuse.
now.
Yeah.
This,
Let me show. You want to show your screen?
yeah. So this was the bricks that the NGOs was funded from the Democratic Party, and these were placed all over the place. Center blocks, um, and I know the news media doesn't report all this, but they were placed all over. All right, and then I'll show you. Look at that. Conveniently, all there, right?
Yep.
Okay, but there's more. There's a lot more. So here we go. All this, somebody paid for this. This wasn't like they came with bricks.
That's crazy. Now
All right,
we
hold on.
have like. Let me show you this. Yeah, there was a lot of people. There was a lot. Let me show you this from Grok, so I can show you. So I can show you a little bit of what I'm seeing. Let me share this screen real quick so you can see. All right. So can you see it? Yeah, we can see it. All right. Now, right here, we got a few examples of paid protesters. All right. So if we go down here, you got this one, Crowds on Demand, was in Beverly Hills. In a lawsuit, investigator Jericho accused a firm of extortion via hiring protesters demanding 23 million. The company website, riots and protests. So that was right there, right here. Protesters were paid between $25 to $100 an hour. That was confirmed. All right. Check this one out. And this one right here. U.S. campus protesters. That's another one right here. The U.S. campaign for Palestinian rights. Right here. Pays fellows between $2,880 to $7,800 a year for 8 hours work week. Organization for Palestinian. That's right there. Another protester paid. Right here. Another one. Refuse fascism. Boom. Another here. They were paying, like we
Okay,
were saying, between
now
80 to 100K a year.
now look up. Now look up
Oh, by the
if you
way,
could
they were getting paid by uh,
NGOs.
NGOs and via Act Blue, which is a scam, and they are funneling money. That's a laundry money machine, literally. So you have that in there.
Also, now look up who funds No Kings, and look how which is crazy because and you can chat GPT this, you can
Yeah,
grok it if you just think outside of your
you're
of
right,
what
Cynthia.
yeah, what you see,
NGOs
because
and computers.
every now and then I go look at the left wing media because
Mhm.
again we're all subject to be brainwashed. i
Right,
I
absolutely.
think, yeah, the moment you think you can't get brainwashed, watch out, tread carefully.
It's already done.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're all subject to it. That's why we need to have these discussions and debates and talk about this, and think outside of our spectrum,
Yeah,
because
we
I'm
have to we
telling
have to
you,
look we have to look around and outside our purview because sometimes we just overlook stuff. That's the bottom line. We have to be cognitive of what's going on around us. Tucker is live right now. Let's see what he has to say. So, I mean, these guys, friends of Charlie Kirk, are going live regularly. Have you seen that? They're
yeah,
going
I have
live
seen that.
like every hour on the hour. I'm not
Look,
telling you, they're making money out of this. But
and I'm just,
yeah, my
before you
opinion.
share that, let me share this little picture here.
Yeah, go
This
ahead.
was this was somebody from California. Look what it says. Just so you know, this was somebody saying, "Hey, yo, they're leaving pallets out here." Look, it says California Dems bought 200 pallets of brick in May 2025 per their expense report, with no clear construction plans. The timing aligns with LA protesters after Trump's immigration crackdown. The party claims it was future projects, but critics demand answers. Transparency needed. So this was a pallet here, and that's what I'm telling you. They would leave these pallets, and I remember all across the streets. So it's already. I mean, the truth is already revealed, and unfortunately, for the people that don't like Trump, he was proven right again. And
all the
uh,
time.
yeah, so far he's
All the-
been good. Yeah, he's been I would say what 95% correct. Look at this. Look at this one. I mean, it's crazy. Pallets of bricks randomly appear during protests in New York City,
yeah,
Kansas
and it
City,
happened.
Dallas.
And it happened a lot. I remember it happened when George Floyd protest. That happened too in Texas. They were leaving
Look at
pallets
this. Look
of
at this.
cinder blocks and other items in the street. Like, why? So that's what's going on, man. This has been happening for a long time. Now we just open our eyes to it, and we just like find out who was behind it.
Look at
After,
these.
let me show. Let me see.
Oh
I don't
wait,
see it.
it's not showing. Oh wait,
No,
hold
it's
on.
not showing.
Oh man, what's going on? Let's see. Block.
Just share that.
Share this tab instead. Here we go.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yep.
Look. Okay, so
Randomly appeared out of nowhere.
see, Daily Mail. This is not even a ring news article. Okay, Daily Mail. Pallets of bricks randomly appear during protests in New York, Kansas City, Dallas, and North Carolina, sparking theories that they were planted by cops or extremists to stoke violence. And we now know it wasn't the cops. This was the NGOs, the ones that you just read from Grok, who are supporting all these people. And look at these bricks. That's the picture I showed you, right? That's from New York City, Kansas City, Dallas. This guy, I remember seeing that video.
Yeah.
And, it's just like, look at this. This is how it was in LA. These random piles of bricks just there, and come on, man, like, look at this truck full of bricks that the cops wind up picking up. It's just, again, these people, it's paid protesters, and that is a thing, unfortunately. So
Candace Owens today revealed the information, like all the information about this guy Tyler Robinson and his partner, Male Ferry, whatever what he was. The conversation was revealed today, and it was like it took the internet like a firestorm. It was crazy. So let me show you. Uh, by the way, Tyler was also. I think they read him. He was charged today officially.
and did you hear that he was trying to off himself, so he's now on suicide watch?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Let me play a clip of Candace Owens reading off
The text messages, right?
the text messages. It was she just did it like about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago.
Yeah, because I have the district attorney where he was reading it.
Yeah. So let's go with this one, and then
Yeah.
we want to get that reaction. Let's play this video.
They're not telling us the time. I don't like that. I hope that's just you forgot, but I need to know exactly when you're saying these messages were sent, okay? Because I need to fit them into my timeline, okay? Clearly, on the basis of what I am about to read, these messages had to have gone out after Charlie Kirk was shot. If I'm using my context clues, my Blue's clues to put things together, but they're not clear here. They just say on September 10th, 2025, no time given. The roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, quote, "Drop what you are doing and look under my keyboard." The roommate, Lance, then looks under his keyboard and he finds a note that states, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it." The structure of that is weird. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it. Okay. That's just structurally, that's not proper English. Okay. It's either I have,
Well,
okay,
he doesn't
or
know
I
how to
had,
text.
past tense. Again, not clear. Police found a photograph
The
of
cops
this
didn't
note,
write this.
and the following text exchange then took place. After reading that note, the roommate texts Tyler and he says, "What? You're joking, right?" Robinson writes, "I'm still okay, my love, but I am stuck in a REM for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." The roommate replies, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" Robinson replies, "I am. I'm sorry." The roommate replies, "I thought they caught the person." Robinson replies, "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude that interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle still lingering." The roommate says, "Why?" Robinson says, "Why did I do it?" The roommate says, "Yeah." Robinson says, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it." The roommate says, "How long have you been planning this?" Robinson says, "A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it," referring to the rifle, "but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it." Robinson says, "I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. I don't know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hopefully they don't find prints. How the F will I explain?"
Losing my old man's. One thing I left on the rifle. Wait. One thing I left the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The effing messages are most likely big memes. If I see notices, what is that?
Hold on, let me play.
No audio.
The rifle wrapped in a towel. What? You're worried about explaining losing the rifle to your father?
Yeah, that's
that
how
was
delusional.
yeah, that was a big deal. That was a big deal. He was worried about more his dad and the rifle.
No, okay, there's more because the DA read this. The
Mm-hmm.
guy also said, crap, too bad I'm going to lose my $2,000 scope. LOL. Bro, he's worried about the $2,000 scope.
What on the rifle?
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't a $2,000 scope.
That's what he said.
That was a probably Walmart or Amazon brand. Like, let me bring the rifle again.
Yeah,
Let me bring that rifle. Like,
let me see the
let
DA.
me give you some context on that rifle real quick. A lot of people were talking about the rifle being uh, on the box, and I will want to explain that today.
While you're looking for that, or you already found it?
No, I have not found it yet.
Yeah, because I'm going to share what is the same thing, but this is from the actual district attorney, the one that's
Okay.
charging him.
Yeah, go
This is
ahead.
what he says. All right, here we go.
Messages from Robinson about the shooting, and he did provide those messages to police. On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note. The following text exchange, then took place. After reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" Robinson, "I am still okay, my love, but am stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." Roommate, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" Robinson, I am. I'm sorry." Roommate, "I thought they caught the person." Robinson, "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering." Roommate, "Why?" Robinson, "Why did I do it?" Roommate, "Yeah." Robinson, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence.
It's what we were talking about, Julio.
Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it." Roommate, "How long have you been planning this?" Robinson, "A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it." Robinson again, "I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. IDEK if it's had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The F in messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notice bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke all right. I'm gonna have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine, IDK. I think that was a $2K scope. Wink, wink. Robinson again, delete this exchange. Again, Robinson, my dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it is very unique. He's calling me, RN, not answering. Robinson, since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. Robinson, I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. Again,
Are you
you
posted
are
that?
all I worry about, love. That came from
Yeah.
Robinson. Roommate, I'm much more worried about you. Robinson, don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent.
Bro. Shit.
Bro, he was worried about his the scope more than anything, you know.
Yeah, that rifle was not. The scope was not a 2000.
Yeah, dude, yeah. That rifle was like a Remington almost, right? It looked like a Remington.
Yeah, it looked like a Remington, but the rifle was very
It was not unique. You see
no.
those
It
in
was
Walmart.
old. It was old, but not unique. Like let me show you a picture of it. can't. Yeah, it's right here. Let me just share this picture with you guys. I just wanna, let me share this with you. So that is a rifle. That is not $2,000 rifle. That looks like
You know, the scope is not 2,000.
nah.
Because remember,
Like
he's thinking the scope is the top, the telescope thing. That is not $2,000.
no, it is not. I mean, if you see right here at the top, like where my my little cursor
Mouse.
is,
Yeah.
you see what that mount is? Like it is not even properly seated. Like it's not. That ring right here holding the rifle should be like touching this, not like almost on the way of the bolt. You know what I mean? So it was poorly mounted, and he was lucky. I guess he got a lucky shot.
But that's a single bolt action, huh?
Yeah, he didn't eject the brass, and they found it like with
No.
yeah, he didn't eject the brass, so the brass was still on the rifle. So when they found it, so
Dang, cuz.
I know he was. I'm telling you, he's stupid. He is stupid. So they found everything, and they found three more rounds, I believe, and they had all the engravings on it. So
And and
these
and
people are sick.
and just so you guys know, uh Cash Patel had a hearing today, and he basically said that there's more than 20 people that are involved in this, and
Wow.
he was trying to be careful and keeping, you know, because he doesn't want to mess up this trial, right? He wants to make sure these guys go get locked up for good. And so I just it's just crazy to me. And you know, just to kind of ease off of this, I want to
Mhm.
share something, Julio. It's an old one, but it's a um this Hispanic kid that got to Charlie Kirk and told him that the Democratic Party, uh, colluded with the Democrats trafficking children. And I will show you this real quick. Yep, here we go. And you tell me what you think.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, wait.
And we work with cartel members, and they're
Wait,
exporting. I come from a missionary family to Mexico, and we build a lot of prisons, had prisons, and we work with cartel members, and they're exporting with tears in their eyes if we see them convert to Christianity, saying how they traffic thousands of children, specifically to Democratic politicians, and they actually said the biggest client for their product is the U.S. government, and that actually exploded under the Biden administration.
Wait, so the cartels were telling your family they
yes,
were
directly in prison.
they were trafficking kids to Democrats?
Yes, with tears in their eyes. I'm talking hitmen, killers, serial killers. Like I said, I have all the details. You guys can check out my Facebook. I'm legit.
So it's legit. Cartels are trafficking
Yes.
kids as sex slaves for Democrats?
Yes, I would work with them directly in the prisons. We have all over. My question is, we have this information, right? It's not a conspiracy at this point. What can we do to confront that and deal with that, specifically us as a common people?
Well, first you being here, I'm going to share this exchange, if that's okay.
Yes, please, go
I'd
ahead.
like to talk to you. Just to make
Please.
sure our audience hears, the cartel, they are the #1 slave operation.
Yes, they are.
Is this modern day slavery?
Yes, they are. So we actually converted a lot of them over to Christianity.
Praise
recently.
God, that's the real solution,
Yes,
by the way.
and we're working with them. Some of the churches have a lot of hitmen that have actually escaped from it. And like I said, we work all over, and we're seeing a massive, like just kids disappearing. The traffic, go there.
So just to give some detail for the audience.
Yes, sir.
You have an 11-year-old girl.
Yes,
What
sir.
do they do with that girl?
They actually have to hide her. We were in Coahuila, which is where the Zetas were at. They just got eliminated, but they were the biggest traffickers. They actually kind of began to dismantle under the Trump presidency, even for the Mexican government. But the biggest we've known people that had to leave states, hide them, literally take them, like just completely.
And these girls become prostitutes
100%.
at 12 years old.
Yeah, we've dealt with them. They become prostitutes that we've known parents that sold their kids into it just to survive.
So when you hear that 320,000 kids have gone missing under Kamala Harris,
100% accurate. So we go there monthly and we see thousands and thousands of migrants on top of trains.
What do you think of that? I mean, that's just a lot of information in itself.
That is crazy, and it was actually proven under the Biden administration. We got whistleblowers that came up talking about the same thing, talking about they delivering children to
Yes.
people like the
cartel
zip
members.
codes are very expensive zip codes. They were dropping kids like Uber Eats, like Amazon drop off at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 10 p.m. Like, who the hell want to drop a kid at 10 p.m.? And they had to drop those children. And you have a lot of people, testimonies in Congress talking about it. It is not a secret anymore. They told us we were conspiracy terrorists when we start talking about it. I remember 2021, 22,
Yeah.
when people started come up with those numbers, and people label us as conspiracy. They're like, "Oh, you guys are lying. That is not
Fear
possible."
mongering. Yep.
Yep. And it happened to be right. And now we are missing over 500,000, probably 1 million children under Biden administration. And now Cash Patel put up the numbers. They are saving or rescuing roughly between 300 and 500 children every month. So there is a lot of work to do. Most of these children, they're probably gone forever, but that's the sad reality. So they are so they are sold for slavery, and they might be exported to different countries. So that is sad. That is sad.
That is really, really sad. And these are children. So many and so many movies based on the same things. And yeah, the thing is, they've been telling this in movies, and it's like they've been straight up to our face, man.
I know,
it's
and
just-
people believe it is just fake stuff, and people believe that it's not true, that we're just making stuff up, and then, oh, look at this, oh my god, this is crazy.
Oh no, what happened?
Just lunatics, crazy people. I just they sent me this. One of my viewers, I believe it was Jennifer. We appreciate it, Jennifer. Let me show you this video. It's more the left, lunacy. They're just crazy. They're just crazy. Let's play this video. Yeah, I got audio.
Man, I don't know, how is that an argument? You know?
I don't know
Like,
how you can win an argument like that. And that's what they do. They shout out, they scream. I mean, it is on their book. Like, if you read the Marxist and Leninist ideology, it is on their, like, I would say, playbook, how to defeat the others and all this stuff. It is a whole playbook in that Marxist book. And that's why they teach people in college. People go to college to study, like, to be a doctor, to study to be an architect, to study to be a teacher or whatever, and they ended up learning Marxist, Leninist, communist indoctrination, and they go crazy. They go as a normal person, and not even a year, they probably start protesting for weird stuff. So
yeah, that
and they come out 4 years later without a degree and $80,000 in debt.
and then they expect us to pay for it.
Yeah, and they get mad because we don't want to acknowledge their whatever
Yeah,
gender fluid.
the
They change every 20 seconds. So it's a lunacy of
no,
the left,
and
man.
then too, they get mad because you're like, oh, so you don't want to do my student loan forgiveness? That means we are paying for it. No, we're not going to pay for something that you chose to take, and you couldn't get a job because you picked some stupid liberal arts. Like, really, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with
Mhm.
that? What is? Yeah, it's so dumb.
It is dumb. So
They're
do you have another video, or that's it for today?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find the oh, here we go. It's not a video, it's more of a post,
Mhm.
but I'll share it to you guys. This is what I was looking for because to me this is huge. So um says, and this is from Conservative Twins, the Hog Twins. Shout out. Says, whoa, Cash Patel just dropped a bomb on the Charlie Kirk case. He says there are a lot more than 20 people from Discord now under investigation in connection with alleged assassin Tyler Robertson. This thing is way bigger than they are telling us.
Hmm.
So Candace might be onto something. And again,
Yeah.
she's been onto something for a while, and
Do
she's
you
starting to be the new Alex Jones.
do you saw her video talking to Israel and all these guys pro Israel? Have you seen the
Yeah.
video? That she say she don't care if she ended up dead. She gonna,
Yes, yes. I think we played a little bit of it yesterday, right?
but we didn't play the whole thing.
No, we didn't. No, no, we didn't.
Let me see if I can pull up the video. It is.
Yeah, she is. Mm-mm-mm.
That was I saw it. I think I saw it today. Let me see if I can find it on my history real quick. Let me see if I can find it on my history. I should find it. It was disturbing when I saw it. I was like, "Holy smoke! It's bad."
Yeah, she's
When she listened to when you listen to her video and she's like talking about she don't care if she ended up dead. That was big.
I think it's this one.
Yeah. Let me see. That was yeah. That was. Let me see. Man, it's
Yeah,
been an
oh
hour.
good old Candace Owens.
Candace Owens, I'm telling you, she's standing up for, and she knew
Don't
because she was talking about them, the donors. They were trying to like manipulate Kirk, and
Yeah,
he would not bulge, and that's why they probably took him out. They couldn't buy
I
the man.
know. Yeah, because they offered him money and he said no.
Yeah, I'm not saying Israel did it. I'm just saying it's a possibility. I'm not ruling out anything.
I wouldn't rule out anything either. I mean,
Do you see? You got the video? Because I couldn't find it.
okay, yes, I think I found it. It's on my YouTube, um, and it's on my search history. Let's see. Here we go, and here we go. I know I seen it here.
Yeah, I
Are
tried to
lying about
find it
Charlie
too, but I
Kirk.
couldn't find it. I spent all morning trying to get
Wait,
this.
let's see. There's an ad. I'm waiting for the ad to go, and then um, I mean, this is the whole thing, but we're not trying to watch the whole thing. I'm just gonna try to leave it to where I guess it left off.
Because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. Well,
Okay, it was like right here.
A few weeks before the tragedy,
that fire, a lot of us are feeling it. I am definitely feeling it. I had a very tough weekend, a very tough weekend. I will say this, my entire life, I've not been much of a crier. It is not my choice emotion. I'm not a person who bursts into tears, and some people are like that. This weekend,
It was this one,
I
right?
didn't just cry. I wept. I wept for Charlie. Obviously, I didn't make it through the tribute to him on Friday, and for those of you who wanted to see me in a moment of weakness, that was delivered to you. Fair. Yeah, I watched my friend get shot in the neck. Yeah, that's what happened. I just want to say that he was publicly executed again before the world. The question is why, right? You know, when you are in a state of grief, you go through a lot of emotions, and I'm arriving right now at a lot of anger, the audacity of some people. It has taken much restraint and prayer, and I had to speak with a priest. I had to go to confession. These emotions that I am having, wanting to respond with Charlie in his own words, really. People that are coming forward and saying this is what he thought and this is how he should be remembered. It just feels really inappropriate to me. I didn't know what to do other than to scroll through messages between me and Charlie, regarding which there are a ton of them.
She's talking
And,
about,
going back
Bibi
and watching the video,
Netanyahu
the many videos of us dancing
coming
to
out saying
the song Power. And it felt
what Charlie
appropriate to
really
to
wanted.
reach out to Ye, speaking about things, talking about his mode when he wrote the song. You know, when you wrote the song Power, why did we have it as our hype song? Because I am
Hitting your goals has nothing to do with
I'm gonna
Yes,
play it,
the
but I'm
real
gonna
culprit-
mute it. But basically, she's gonna start talking about, because Bibi Netanyahu came out with a letter, right? But here goes, it's playing right now.
song. I'll show you the text between him and I.
Fast forward right there. Wait, what?
I believe, in fact, I know that towards the end, Charlie was fighting for custody of himself. I want to say that. I want to say that plainly. And there are lies that are being told and they need to be slapped down right now. There's one person who's been out there acting like he is a widow, just saying the absolute most, tweeting first about what happened to Charlie, following it minute to minute, and doing hits in a foreign country, right? Like making time to do hits on Fox News, 2 of them. Bibi Netanyahu who's fighting, I think, like an 84 front war with everyone, made a lot of time for Charlie Kirk. You would have thought they were the best of friends, as close as him and Trump were. But I will say I don't recall Erica mentioning Bibi Netanyahu in her speech. The way he's presenting it is like he was this is just the worst loss for him, but I don't think that is the truth. In fact, I know for a fact that he is misrepresenting some things that happened there towards the end. So let's at first listen to what Bibi Netanyahu, just one day, less than 24 hours after Charlie died, what Bibi Netanyahu had to say on Fox News. Take a listen.
We're just heartbroken. Myself, my wife, my family, my son actually, on his 2019 visit to Israel, had lunch with him and his wife, Erica. We're shattered first as human beings because a great human being has been taken from us. Was an extraordinary friend. He said, he wrote me a letter on May 2nd this year. He said, one of my greatest joys as a Christian is advocating for Israel and forming alliances to defend Judeo-Christian civilization. A few weeks before the tragedy yesterday, I called him and I spoke to him and I said, please come to Israel. I invited him to Israel. And sadly, that visit will not take place. But he was a defender of our common Judeo-Christian civilization. He was unbelievably excited to walk in the footsteps
Wait, he's
of
not
Jesus
Christian.
here.
Why would he?
He valued our bond, the bond between America and Israel. He did so many things to defend free speech. He had his truth. He stood up for it. But he said, you can come and debate me. He invited that debate. He certainly didn't invite the violence, the horrible violence that tried to silence him. And this is a worldwide problem. The people on the extremes, the Islamists, the radical Islamists, and their union with the ultra progressives They often speak about human rights, they speak about free speech, but they use violence to try to take down their enemies, whether it's President Trump, who's been almost assassinated twice, or, they try to kill me here too. But they got Charlie Kirk, and it's just heartbreaking.
Who is they, BB? Who is they who got Charlie Kirk? We don't have to actually speak conspiracies. I'm just wondering, because you said a lot there, but it really sounded like it was about BB trying to establish a narrative that we saw reinforced by a lot of people, that, Charlie kind of made it almost sound like he died for Israel. I mean, Trump's account even tweeted out a photo of Charlie and an American flag and also an Israeli flag, a bit of AI used, like this is just who Charlie was. He says Judeo-Christian values. He spoke to him 2 weeks ago. Again, you would think he was busy fighting this 97,000 front war, but no, he's letting you know that he just randomly picks up the phone and calls Charlie Kirk and invites him to Israel.
When you die, you go to another life, maybe heaven.
That's a good point that she pointed. Like, why out of the blue, couple weeks before he was killed, he called him and invited him in, and then he got shot.
And then she goes further down, and I'm just gonna spoil alert because it gets to the she basically says that there's a lot of people that leaked that was there when Charlie was on the phone with Bibi Netanyahu and declined to go. He declined to go. And he went to meet with one of Bibi Netanyahu's I guess friend, representative or something to the Hilton Hotel or Marriott Hotel, one of them. And that's when they said that basically they were threatening him to turn down the rhetoric and to talk to your girl over here to turn down the rhetoric or else. And then they said, and if you do this, we're going to give you so many money for Turning Point USA and we'll be good as normal. But Charlie didn't, according to Candace, that he declined it. So
how much they were talking about?
She said it was a lot of money. That's all she said. I'm going to see if I can fast forward it where she said that though, but hold on. Yeah,
they were talking about like 100 million, something like that. They were put a lot of money on his hands.
I think so.
Huh. That's crazy. That's how they work. If they did not control you, they push you out. And I would not be surprised if something come up because I've seen the videos. Have you seen the Alex Jones video? They're talking about a possible second shooter.
Well, there's thing is I've seen there's like 3 different ones that look like they're shooters. The guy in the white shirt with the phone case looking gun. And then there's the guy that's right beside Charlie where it looked like he has the gun here.
Oh,
that's
no, there's another one.
Yeah, and so there's Tyler, the roof, that's one. Then you have a guy in a white shirt with a chick.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2, where it looks like he's doing this, and it looks like that. It even sees the recoil, and then there's a flash on the window, right?
Yep, the high up behind Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and then the third one is the guy that has this right here, the third one, and the fourth one is the guy that's running. The one we saw that I was thinking maybe security, but so there's possibly 4 people from that count. So I mean, it's just crazy. I just don't know what to think of it. And to be honest with you, are we ever going to know about this? She has a deep hatred for Israel, and I can't trust her every word on Israel. I did not know Charlie, but it hurts me deeply. So her saying he felt some sort of way seemed too close. Not sure. Well, Jennifer, okay, so I was in the same mindset when I first hear her, and I do hear her that she is a little bit too much angry towards Bibi Netanyahu and the Israel and those Jews, per se,
And
right?
Ben Shapiro too. That's
And
why
Ben
she
Shapiro.
left
And
the Daily
but
Wire.
I can understand her. And I don't know if you knew this, but the day before Charlie got shot, he was talking to Ben Shapiro. And Charlie Kirk was asking Ben Shapiro hard questions that, which when I don't know if you've seen Charlie Kirk the day before Ben Shapiro. So we're talking about the 9th, and on the 8th, I believe, or 7th, he had Megyn Kelly there, and they were discussing the same thing, because this was right around the time he went to the hotel to meet with Bibi Netanyahu's friend representative, I forgot his name, Alex something, right? But anyways, Charlie Kirk says with Megyn Kelly, in fact, I'll pull it up, but he was basically saying like, man, I can't even criticize Israel because then I'm an anti-Semite. So he was upset about that, and
Yeah, he was.
and all he was asking was basically, why can't I criticize Israel? Like we're okay criticizing America, we're okay criticizing Mexico, we're okay criticizing any other country,
But Israel.
EU. But if the moment you say, "Hey, Israel kind of did this bad," then you're an anti-Semite. What do you got against Israel? Why can't Israel defend itself? And the Italy prime minister also expressed deep regret on Charlie's assassination. Does that mean she had a hidden agenda? No, but that's the thing. Look, I'm just gonna play this clip. This was right before Charlie Kirk, which, if you knew Turning Point USA, a lot of the donors, a lot of the supporters, the investors were all from APEC, which is Israel. And here we go. Hold on. And again, it's questionable. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I don't rule out anything. Everything could
And
be.
and it's just it's crazy. Everybody's afraid to talk about this, and that's why, again, Charlie Kirk was talking about that, and when he talked to Ben Shapiro, he was like walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
Man, it is crazy because Candace Owens been upset with like over a year now. Like she's been upset with the Israel over a year since she left the Daily Wire.
Yeah.
She it was downhill after that. I mean, they don't talk about each other no more. I guess they signed the NDA mutually because they don't talk about each other. If you realize that, you know, Ben don't talk about Candace. Candace don't talk about Ben, but they throw jabs at each other. And in some other context. But let's play that video real quick. Oh, food.
Moral character is being put into question. And
forgot.
so I think it's a hyper paranoid, like we're just going to try to, we're going to just stamp out everything type of practice. But it goes to the point where if, for example, if I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the Israeli government without backlash than actual Israelis do. And that's really, really weird, isn't it, Megan? That's
It's
not
so
right.
wrong-headed. I'll tell you this, for me. So I got some blowback after saying Mossad pop.
So I'm going to explain that right there. What he's saying, and the reason why he said it like that, is he's saying, I can't criticize Israel the way if I was an Israeli, I could criticize them. But I can't criticize them even though I'm not in Israel. If I criticize them, I can't do it. And again, because most of his donors and at that time were all they're Jewish, and he can't do it. But he's watch. I'll let him continue with this. But here we go.
Possibilities with Epstein, a comment behind which I stand. I mean, I realize, and I've of course reported what Alan Dershowitz has said as his lawyer. He says, I think he would have told me. He didn't say he had any of those connections. I hear all that. That doesn't mean it's not true. I think all these things should be explored. It's one of the many things that should be explored around Epstein. But saying that, and also saying he might be a U.S. asset, et cetera, doesn't make you anti-Semitic. That's fucking crazy. And then we get to last week, I go on Piers Morgan. Right? So I go on Piers Morgan last week, and I don't talk about Israel a lot on this show. I just like covering the day-to-day of a conflict like this is not my thing. It's not what we do here at the Megyn Kelly Show. We haven't done it for Ukraine. We haven't done it for Israel. We haven't done it for a lot of conflicts, but we'll talk about it when big things happen. So Piers talks about it a lot. Piers asked me, it was a very interesting kind of culture study. So he asked me about the photos of the starving children out of Gaza. And I said a couple of things, both of which got a fair amount of pickup. All right. So first, this is what I said about the photos. Listen to SOT 10. Well, I'm always reluctant to put too much stock in the images coming out of Gaza, that phrase, because they're manipulated and they're masters of propaganda, and they're fine having the.
Well, I'm gonna fast forward this because we know about Megyn Kelly, but I want to hear Charlie Kirk's, because I'm telling you, this is crazy. Here we go.
That's right. So here's SOT 11. Israel, whether it realizes let's people I know, like friends who are pro-Israel, like, I'm so sad that you've left us. I'm so sad let's debate it. You know, many Jewish advocates saying, let me come on your show and we'll debate. There's nothing to debate. I'm on Israel's side. Just stop. Me observing
I totally agree
that you're losing the propaganda war and that this has gone on for about 2 years now. And look, I mean, I pulled the stats, support for Israel's military action in Gaza by party ID, GOP in June of 2024.
Well, okay. So the reason why Jennifer, because Jennifer said this, it says nothing's off the table. But again, why is Candace not taken out? God bless her and protect her. But does it make sense? And what Jennifer's basically saying is that, you know, if this is all true, then why isn't Candace Owens taken out? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because Candace Owens is a lot louder than Charlie Kirk. See, and Candace Owens is, and we went with this yesterday if you didn't see the episode, but Turning Point USA had, if you look at the map of all the chapters, Charlie Kirk is a threat. He is a threat. Like, he's a threat. If he turns against Israel and exposes what Israel did, they're in trouble. Bibi Netanyahu doesn't want to give up power. If you know about Israel's politics, which I'm not sure if you do, but Bibi Netanyahu doesn't want to give out his power. He should be done. I mean, he's been there since 70s, 80s. I mean, I think if you look up who was the last prime minister before Bibi Netanyahu, I mean, I think he got assassinated by Bibi Netanyahu's party. It's kind of like, we have Republicans and the Democrats assassinate our presidents. It's kind of like that. And again, there's a lot of things that we're finding out today about Israel that is kind of alarming. And again, I was at the point where I was like, I don't want to be anti-Semitic and we got to walk on eggshells. But I mean, the truth is finding out. And unfortunately, Candace Owens is not much of a threat like Charlie Kirk is, even though she has a big platform. But I do get it, what you're saying, though. It's sometimes, I guess, her anger reflects. And it's off-putting because, it's like she's sour about why she got fired. But it's not that. Because I followed her from when she was at the Daily Wire. And all she did was bring up a Palestinian guy to say his side, and they were calling her anti-Semitic, and all she was doing is kind of like what Tucker Carlson did when he went to Russia. They were saying he was like, oh, why are you interviewing Putin? And it's like, Well, part of being a an intellectual, free mind, free thinker, we have to hear both sides. I mean, we can't just be um, just hearing the same thing over and over from the right, like a bunch of yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. We need to hear the no's. We need to hear why they don't agree what we do, and we don't really need to know all the logistics on why they don't agree with us or think like us. But it'll bring clarity, because at the same time, when you hear this stuff, it's challenging your ideology, your beliefs, and it either reaffirms or it gives you doubt, and then it protects one and anyone from being brainwashed. But my point is, yeah, so Candace Owens is a threat, but not as much as Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, I mean, Turning Point USA, did you find the map?
No, hell no.
Yeah, Turning Point USA has a lot of
Difficult.
yeah. I think I have it here. I have it saved in the on the
Okay,
pictures, because I screenshot it. I'm about to share it right now. But
because
yeah,
you have to dig deep on the website to find it.
yeah, I know. It did cost me a little bit, but this is why Charlie Kirk was a threat. And here we go. This is why he's a threat.
Mm.
All this. See this? These are high schools. These are colleges. These are youth that, in the right setting, Israel right now has control of this. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, they have they have control of this. We know that. But now, look, they even have it in Mexico, bro. But anyways, I just noticed that. But now, imagine these people are all Charlie Kirk supporters. If you make this into electoral, vote ballots, it's a powerful movement. So the moment he doesn't play ball, they're he's a threat. He's a threat. And again, he's now much more of a threat. They think they got rid of him, but if you heard Erica, those evildoers that took out my husband, she didn't say Tyler Robertson. She
Hmm.
didn't say that individual that took my husband out. She says those evildoers that took my husband out. So Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk were best friends. So again,
I mean, first
oh
question for
man,
you: do you think that Candace Owens will lead? Because she lead Brexit. She's she's one of the main leaders on Brexit. Do you think she
correct.
will take over the entire not the entire operation, but be the face of Turning Point USA? Because
I
my feeling is the donors will want to put somebody in favor of
Yeah, and
their
that's
people.
what Candace Owens said. They better not put a shill. If they put one in, she's going to raise hell.
She's
And
gonna expose them.
I don't think Erica would,
Mhm.
and I don't know how much Charlie Kirk told her, or I'm sure he did tell her a lot, but does she have that discernment to be like, this guy's sincere, or you know what I'm saying? Because uh there are some people that can deceive you, and Candace Owens would be fair to the point that she's smart enough. But I will say this: a lot of those donors will pull out, and it's going to be crazy to keep it up.
I mean,
Definitely.
they're getting a lot of support nowadays, and a lot of people donating. It's more people getting involved. But the issue is they will not. Honestly, they will not back up. They will try to take over the movement, and
Correct.
they would try because they already invested so much money. And like you were saying, if they pulled out of a big base that can manipulate to keep him in power. literally.
Yeah.
So I think Candace Owens is up to something because she already foreseen them putting a plant in the
Yeah.
movement.
Yeah. Well, because honestly, they've been doing that. That's
Yeah.
their playbook. Jennifer says, definitely, I'll do my homework in Israel and Netanyahu so we can debate. Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm telling you, look, so I'm a Christian. I believe, and I try to follow the teachings, and I'm a believer in Yeshua, who is the Messiah. And me and my wife were just reading this yesterday, but Galatians, um, I don't know the exact, but in Galatians, it talks about um, how the new covenant, right? We as Christians, we are now the new descendants of Abraham through it. My point is this: there's only one special people of God, and that's the people will that got saved by Jesus in the new covenant.
Mhm.
Jesus completed the first covenant. The Jews don't believe in that Yeshua is the Messiah. They're waiting for the Messiah. They can be saved and be part of God's people, but they're not the same Israelites that we read from before Jehoiachin. And if you know who Jehoiachin is, he's the son of Solomon. This is when Israel divided, and it
Yep.
was Judah, the kingdom of Judah, and the kingdom of Israel. This is when God started to tell the prophets, which was Isaiah, um, who was there at the time, Isaiah, Jeremiah, um, and basically telling them, like, hey, that's when in Isaiah, I said Isaiah, right? Well, Isaiah was starting to prophesize about Jeshua, which is Jesus, you know. And again, so I went through this whole thing, and I came to the conclusion that and especially talking to Kawa, he kind of, shout out to Kawa, he basically, it's very interesting, and
Yeah.
we were conditioned to think that the Zionist movement was the people of
Yes.
God, right?
Yeah.
Per se, and
Yeah.
that's why they're untouchable. But
On the New Testament, on the New Testament, uh, Jesus separate himself from the Israelites.
yep,
Like he accepted on, like you were saying, like on the Old Testament, he just like he was all for them, but after the New Testament, he just separate himself from them, and that's why they don't believe in Yeshua. So
yep, and they're the one that crucified him.
yeah.
Which it was biblically, it was prophesied from Isaiah, Malachi, that's what
And
was going
Jesus
to happen.
himself, yeah, they're gonna crucify me.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find that the book of Galatians, the chapter, because I just want to, that way, we, I don't want to give y'all something that you say, oh, well, there's not misinformed or whatever. Here it
Mhm.
goes. Galatians chapter 3:28, verse 29. There is neither there is neither Jew nor Greek. If you are Christ, then you are Abraham's offspring, heirs according to promise. So that's that's powerful, that says a lot, and that's in the New Testament. Obviously, if I were to talk to a Jewish person, he's not going to believe that, because they don't believe in the New Testament. In fact, me being the way I am now, and if I was in Jerusalem or Israel, they would be spitting at me.
Oh yeah, you'll be gone
But
already.
yeah, I know.
All right. So we close it. That's how we close our show for today. Really appreciate it. We enjoy your company. We enjoy your texts and your comments, and kind of debate and make us think and keep us, on our feet. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, share on the channel. Also, follow us on all social media, which I will put down below so you can follow us right there and there. And this is our handles in social media. All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We see you guys tomorrow at the same time between 6:30 and 6:45 p.m. Central Time. Until next one, have a good one. God bless you. Take